Immediately the father of the child cried out and said, I believe, help my unbelief. Mark 9, verse 24. This past Sunday, in one of the adult Sunday school classes, someone asked why it was that when the Israelites were entering the Promised Land, God instructed them to completely wipe out the countries that they were encountering. But in the book of Jonah, God has mercy on the city of Nineveh in spite of its horrific history of treating other nations. Let me share with you the answer that came to my mind and the implications of that answer. And you can see what you think. The answer that sprung to my mind is, I don't know. It does seem contradictory that God would instruct complete annihilation in one case and undeserved mercy in another case. The Bible verse that comes to my mind is Isaiah 55, 8 through 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Sometimes we just don't understand why God says something or what He's up to. That's where trust comes in. Sometimes when we act upon His word in faith, we understand later why the directive. And sometimes we act upon His word in faith and never completely understand why we're told to do what we're told to do. Jesus says things that seem contradictory. If you want to find your life, you have to lose it. If you want to drive your enemies crazy, forgive them and show them unexpected and undeserved kindness. If you want to be great, then be a servant to all. The list goes on and on. Again, trust is the key. We trust His word even when we don't completely understand it, and we trust His sovereignty even when it doesn't fit with the way that we would have wanted things to go. Are we going to trust perfectly in every situation? Absolutely not. There are times when the words of the man in the opening verse will perfectly describe how we're feeling. I believe, help my unbelief. The good news is that we can ask God's forgiveness when we struggle to trust His words or what He's up to in our lives, and we can ask God to increase our faith so that we will be increasingly able to trust Him when we can't completely understand Him. In the process, being where the man in Mark 9:24 is a pretty good place to be. I believe, help my unbelief. Press on in the Lord.